Oh, I, the pure consciousness, would manifest the words of truth and would manifest the words of wisdom through this finite mind and through this finite body. Blessings to be my blessings to be on my truth seeker and the listener, the one who herself or himself has uncluttered from unnecessary folk or drama. Gender is abstract. Gender has no meanings or significance for the life which is running through this body or that body. I hope, excuse me, I hope you're understanding what I'm saying. Somebody has asked, can you elaborate, or what is your perspective as far as the gender of God? So, I do not know, maybe you know already, some of you maybe already know, and maybe some of you still believe in superstitions such as gender, superstitions such as color or form. I remember a few years back there was a debate on internet, on social media, through memes, that somebody said that is Santa Claus is white, and quite a few people got appalled by, because in the very first place there is no need to make even a statement about this being or this person is white or the person of color. It serves no purpose, it has no significance. Somebody has inquired me what is my perspective as far as the gender of God, and no question is a no question is a silly question, because I always encourage you to ask question no matter how small or big of a question is. I have been in a state of meditation for quite a while now, so I decided to speak, and I decided to go live and to speak about this and bring some clarity as far as the gender of God. The person, they have been following me, but their question is based on a their question is based on that they already have made their mind that I believe if there is such thing as God, you see. That I believe if there is such I believe if there is such thing as God. Now, please remember, as I always tell you, please remember the word remember. Please remember that the term God has been around since the beginning of maybe the religions, because the term God basically has been confined to the religious circle. Usually, when we say God in any religion, it brings an image of someone. It brings an image of someone who basically is sitting on a throne, and who basically has a beard and is a strong masculine and is a strong masculine figure with a long beard. Usually when we hear the term God, it brings that kind of image in our memory, in our awareness. And The reason it is bringing it, it is because of the human conditioning, it is because of the human domestication, and the reason is that image pops up in our mind because we never question what's been handed over to us. So the question basically is based on that they have already made their mind that I believe if there is such thing as God, and number two, that I tell you the term God basically has mostly been confined in the religious circles, and when we hear the term God, all that I told you not long ago, the kind of image actually emerges in our memory. That's the word I'm looking for. The kind of image emerges in our memory. A big guy with the beard. When we think of the beard, obviously it's a given. We think it's a masculine figure. Some people really ponder about things that do not matter in the evolution of what we essentially are. You see, some people really focus on things that do not matter in the evolution of what we really are. Uh, I am not condemning the person basically who asked this question. There is no condemnation in me. As a matter of fact, if you pay enough attention and if you focus what I'm saying, you would realize I'm answering your question and I am bringing clarity. What I'm saying to you, let us say, not only the person who asked this question, of course, the person remains anonymous because I never reveal the identity. I never reveal the identity of the person. So the person remains anonymous. However, hypothetically speaking, I'm even taking your side and giving you the points. Suppose I believe if there's such thing as God, and suppose that I tell you it's very gender. Um, are you following what I'm saying to you? Suppose that I believe if there is such thing as God, and suppose I tell you it's gender. Now, the 24 hours or in any given moment, basically, the 24 hours or any given moment, basically, having that knowledge, having to realize and having the knowledge about the gender of God, what role that plays, you see, what role, what significance it has, the information, the knowledge that you acquire after knowing the gender of God, what happiness is bringing in you, what concrete peace is bringing in you. Is it accelerating or is it expediting? That's the word. Is it accelerating or is it expediting the process of your own evolution? You, the life, the manifestation of self awareness. You, I'm asking you what role it is playing, what significance it has in your awareness. You see, is it expediting the very process of life which is running through your body or my body? Uh, body is where the God lives, and the God is running through the body. You see, if you are so adamant to use the term God, we would make you understand through your own words. We would make you understand through your own terms. You see, Um, so I ask your question. I answered your question with a question, and you heard the question what significance it would bring. Please remember the goal of human life. You see, life needs no goal or purpose. However, as I said, we would make you understand through your own terms, the terms you have learned, which has no meanings in reality, because truth, as I said, is silent. You see, truth is silent, and truth does not come with words. So my question becomes basically what significance it is having in your life. The goal of human life in the human form is basically to find concrete happiness and the sense of fulfillment. The test or the exam of that is that you check on yourself at any given moment during the day, that how much in a state of compulsion you are right now, how much your mind is racing ahead of you right now, how much you are or how much you feel fulfilled. Fulfilled means that you are in a state where there is no surge of happiness or there is no surge of concrete peace is necessary now. Means you are totally contented with your being. That is fulfillment. You see, you feel totally fulfilled. You are totally contented with your being. So the time has arrived for a private meditation session, but we'll go a little further, you see, because you see, during the week I work, and of course, I have no time to deliver the message or do the retreats. It's only on weekends, so it gets kind of busy for me because I conduct the meditation sessions and I also try to answer the inquiry or do a retreat or bring some clarity. However, I am doing my best and I would always keep going and I would always bring in clarity in your perception because this is my job, this is what I signed up for. So I bring clarity in your perception. Whatever you do after that, knowledge is entirely your business. My job is done, what I signed up for. You see, you do not pursue people, you do not thumb books, you do not go after them, you do not ring the doorbells or the call bells and harass them. You just bring clarity in their perception, and after that you leave them alone. It's on them now. They have the liberty to choose whatever they want to choose. You see, this is all clarity. So I was asking you the question, even if you knew the gender of God and what significance it has in any given moment, what fulfillment or concrete peace it is bringing in your life at any given moment. If you are facing, God forbid me, if you are facing, hypothetically speaking, a troublesome situation, if you are facing a threatening situation, how that knowledge, having that knowledge, the gender of God is going to help you. First thing, please understand that a person, what you see, a person, when you look at somebody and you see a person, you should realize that what you are seeing is just a manifestation of life. What you what you are seeing is a manifestation of life. This life, which is an energy and the manifestation of the fundamental of us, which is sense of self-awareness. This life, which is a manifestation of Chit or consciousness or the sense of self-awareness is in a process of evolution. It's in a process of evolving. Evolving, what does evolve means? Evolving means, in a nutshell, there are numerous interpretations or connotations of evolution or evolving. I'm not talking about the abstract meanings of evolving or evolution. I'm talking about the real evolution, the real evolving. Because once the life has completed and has learned all the lessons, and now the life goes into the light. After that, the the process of coming in the human form is volunteer. You see, that is what we understand as ultimate liberation, or the fundamental liberation, or absolute liberation. That is the end of every activity, and that is the end of every form. That when you see a person, you are not only looking at a person, but you are looking at all the reincarnation this life has lived. In all those reincarnations, what are the lessons that life has learned? Are you following? When you are looking at a person, you are not only looking at a person, but you are looking at, you are not perceiving, you cannot perceive that life through naked eyes, but that life is going through a process of evolution. The process of evolution here in this sense would be that how fulfilled, happy, or at peace you are, and from within, basically, how much you depend, what is the level of your acceptance towards the creation, you see, and how much of negative traits you have got rid of, which brings the funny feeling in our chakras. You see what I'm saying? So that is the only growth, and that is the only evolution. When you look at a person, the person, the life energy, while it is being evolved, it has gone through numerous stages of evolution. It is trying to know itself through different manifestation. Um, in the process, it becomes what you understand as a male. In the process, it becomes what you understand as a female. In the process, it becomes what you understand neither. These are all different forms of life. Is it legitimate, or is it fair to say that life is evolving in a nutshell? Gender, the titles, gender are the titles that we are attaching to that life. The existence of these titles, the existence of this gender, basically, is depending on life. Life is not depending on the titles. Do you see more clear now? I'm sure I have made it very clear to you that where I am getting at, I am saying, if this beautiful gift you have as life, and if you want to waste it on titles or some type of competition, um, basis, on the basis of gender, then your growth process either has stopped, it has taken a pause, or your growth process is very slow. And I have mentioned you the process of evolution or the process of growth on the very cosmic level. You see, grow or evolving does not mean I am evolving on the basis of academics. Means literally evolving, like in a literal, like on the basis of your education. That's what I'm saying, or academics. Evolving does not mean that I am evolving financially, or I or I am evolving physically. These are all the abstract evolution, because remember, once we leave this, all these evolving or all these evolutions would remain with this, but something would progress on. So the evolution I'm talking about, the evolution I'm mentioning to you, is that evolution, you see, which progresses on, which has never left you. And even though everybody left us, and in the end the only person or the only being which is standing by us is ourselves. In the end, that's all we have in all the ultimate truth. Please know that. I'm talking to you about that evolution. So when the source of creation, if you connect all the dots, and if you did have enough focus in your mind since I started this video, you would realize what I'm telling you. You see, if you connect all the dots, the source of creation, the life is not, by the way, the source of creation. The life is the manifestation of the source of creation. However, that energy life is running through you, and it is the manifestation of source of creation, the source, basically. I'm talking about the source. The source, it looks like the manifestation of the source can manifest itself in any form, and you can attach the labels or the titles of you can attach the labels or the titles of gender. But I wouldn't personally, I would tell you this much, that personally I wouldn't invest my time or energy figuring out the gender of God, because my aim, not aim, but my in clarity, I see the most important thing that I'm expected to do, that how much I have evolved spiritually. That's the most important thing. And knowing the gender of God is not going to take me there. So I get rid of that problem in my mind, and I go ahead and see what is further and how that can help me in the process of growth. You see, you see the bottom line of this message in the response of what is the gender of God. Um, Life as a manifestation of the source carries all the tendencies the source has. Now, pay attention, it's very significant. If you pay attention, it is very, very significant for you to know that what I am saying to you. So I need your focus intact. The very manifestation of the source, the very manifestation of the source has all the tendencies of the source. Um, you understand what I'm saying? So what's happening here is you go to an ocean, you see, you go to a beach, you see the sea. You go to an ocean and you see the sea, the huge, humongous, as long as your sight can capture the sea, there is the sea. And you take a drop out of that ocean, just one drop. Is it fair to say that that drop has all the qualities, all the traits of the ocean? Is it fair to say? That drop you took out of the ocean, it has all the tendencies of the ocean, you see. And ocean has all the tendency of the drop. It's the same thing. When you are looking at a very micro level, when you are looking at a very macro level, you see, micro and macro, usually the terms in finance and stuff like that, but the term I can use to elaborate or to bring clarity in your perception. You are looking at the drop on a very micro level, but it's fair to say that drop has all the tendencies of the ocean. That is the relation between the manifestation, which is life, and the source, which is pure awareness or consciousness. The life carries all the tendencies of the source. When the life manifests in different forms and shapes, it means it has no gender. A person, when you look at a person, we would use your titles to make you understand, because personally I think it's not true to look at anybody in that way. That's what we understand as the law of attraction, because once you have total mastery on the life which is running through you, you can connect with the life which is running through an other body. And when you connect with the life running through another body, is the same life, the authentic. You connect on the fundamental or the basis of authenticity of a human. You see, that's the strong bond. That particular manifestation. Now we are talking, we are going one step further. That particular manifestation of life in terms of human form has been numerous genders, sometimes even no gender, sometimes even transgender, sometimes even male or a female. That very life has been all that. So when something is subjected to the variation, we look at the bigger picture. Something which is subjected to the variation, we do not waste our time, because the manifestation of the source has been all the genders. Chit or consciousness, or the sense of self-awareness, has no gender. When it gives birth, you see, when it gives birth to life, that life experiences different genders, the same life, you see. In other words, the genders you understand is the same source which is trying to know itself through different forms and different shapes, Namarupa. I mention it time to time. The source of everything, or the source of creation, is trying to know itself while go through different experiences. And ironically, while doing so, it gives birth to different form and shapes, And those different form and shapes then get entangled and get involved in something as the significance of gender, whether God is a female or God is a male, but in the end is the pure consciousness, in the end is the pure awareness which is trying to know itself for the different forms and the different shapes. Your focus must be what I told you a while back, how much I feel contented. If you get involved in the gender thing, then it would not take you anywhere. If you want to still see or know the gender, just remember that it has no gender. But I'm not asking you to take on my words. The very purpose of this video, the very purpose of this retreat is to bring clarity. And I'm sure that I have brought tons in this. Let's not judge anyone on the basis of the gender. It means that we are not growing, we are stuck. Let's go beyond the gender saga. Let's go beyond the color drama. Let's go beyond all the superstitions that we have learned. And let's focus on the things which would help us tremendously. Let's focus on the things which would help us tremendously in the process of our ultimate evolution. The evolution on the basis of truth, the evolution on the basis of fulfillment and happiness. Do you have any questions for me after what I have told you? Do you have any questions for me? If you do not have any questions for me right now, and if you rewatch this video and come up with a question, do not forget to write me. You see, do not forget to write me. I would always make time for the humankind, you, the humankind. I would always make time for you. So write me and I will clarify even more.